Hello, hello, hello. Chrissy here. Now, I've set up, I've scheduled a live for 6 a.m. my time tomorrow morning, which is 6 p.m. this evening in the US for after this hearing. I'm just going to double check what time it's on. So if you just give me for a minute, I'm pretty sure it's 1 a.m. my time or 1 p.m. Okay. Next January 6th hearing. And then I was watching Holding It 6 hearing on Tuesday. Unexpected public hearing for Tuesday. Okay. So what time? And hi, Edna May. So I thought, wow, and I was watching a news session, and they're like really speculating, saying it's got to be something really, really big. They were previously going to resume in July, but now they're coming back like, what, today? I think it's 1 a.m. my time. It's usually been 1 p.m. So, yeah. And so I thought, well, let's have a look. Online and social special beginning at 3 p.m. So it's 3 a.m. my time. Okay, that's going to give me a chance to get a bit more sleep. So 3 o'clock. So I thought, well, I know they seized Eastman's phone. In fact, he was coming out of a restaurant. Caught him completely by surprise. He's saying it was an illegal seizure. I highly doubt it. So 3 o'clock apparently. So 3 a.m. Okay, that's fine. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, who could or what could cause them to bring this hearing 6 forward from July? And hi, Bronx Sage. There's some other people in the room. Hello to all my lovely lurkers. So I'm going to keep this relatively short, half an hour or so. But I'm just thinking, geez, what are the possibilities? So I'm going to put on my thinking cap here, and I'm going to ask universal spirit and guides of the highest truth and compassion, you could please lead me to the energy around this surprise hearing being held on Tuesday, June 28th at 3 p.m. in Washington, D.C. Please give me some insight and clarity into it. So you will miss most of it. I know they seized Eastman's phone. I don't know whether that has anything to do with it. It could. So I thought I'd ask a few questions. And hi, Linda Sandoval. So look, I'm only going to be on here. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to wrap this up at 8:30 so I can get some sleep to wake myself up at 1:30 to watch on the telly and stuff. And yeah. So it's I've done the hot topics too. That is currently loading. Okay, it's got 10 minutes left loading. So if you remember, the latest hot topics is loading, and yeah, and you can go and see them Monday to Friday. I do a 10-minute odd video, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more, on a couple of stories of the day. And they can be from all over the place. These latest two are American. So, yeah. Anyway, I just thought I would ask, how big is this that they're calling, basically at short notice, calling a hearing? I know there's some questions we'd all like to ask. Is it to do with that documentary filmmaker and footage that he took? He was keeping pretty close mouth about a lot of it. Is it to do with why Eastman's phone was seized? Could it be Mike Pence who's decided to talk? Could it be about Ginny Thomas? So I thought I'd have a look at those few questions. So let's have a look. How big is this? You can feel I don't want to feel anything on Trump's butt. Thanks, Edna May. Yeah. I watched the PBS coverage. It's actually the easiest for me to find. But how big is this? Oh, my goodness. It is the moon. Okay, this is big. This is big stuff is going to come to light. So I asked how big this was. The moon came up. Big stuff is going to come to light. I always see the lobster or the crayfish. It differs a bit sometimes. As a sign of manipulation. Howling at the moon. It's big. So what else can tell us about this? A Knight of Wands. This is, wow, this is going to speed things up. Now, with this Knight of Wands, of course, he's charging forward passionately. But as you can see, he's been holding the horse in restraint, and the horse is about to bolt. Now, again, as with a lot of the knights in the traditional deck and some other decks with the wands, with the court cards for the wands, a lot of decks have the pyramids in the background, and that represents connection. So this is this witness, whatever they're bringing out, is it going to speed up the job of the committee? I might have a look at Thomas and Kavanagh, possibly even Coney Barrett, but Thomas and Kavanagh. 10 of Pentacles. That's a big yes. This is about money connections, possibly. But it's about, could this be, okay, we've got the little lizards chasing their tail. Completion. Could this be a link, a direct link to Trump? Possibly. So I'll ask that question. Could this be a direct link to Trump? Now the Justice card has come out. Goodness me. Could this have something to do with the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers' visit to the White House? Knight of Pentacles, mercenaries. It could. Now, I'm just throwing out ideas out here, guys, and saying, measuring the response of the cards. Whatever it is, it's big, and it is going to help balance the scales. It's going to provide connections, possibly a money trail, and there's a mercenary tag to it. But it's definitely... Hi, Bonnie Russell. I'm just doing a short one now because I want to get a good, decent rest, because the surprise hearing starts at 3 o'clock in the morning my time, and I want to watch it, and then I'm going to plan to come on about 6. If it finishes later than that, or it looks like it's going to go on more than 3 hours, I will reschedule it a bit later on. Hi, Apple. But it looks like it's big. I asked if it was going to be big, and this is what came out. Then I asked for some more information, and it was about connections and speeding up the investigation, possibly money connections, justice. It's going to help with justice, the mercenaries. So I asked if it could be something about the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys in the White House, and then the mercenary card came up. So that's one possibility. We know it's big. So I'm going to leave the moon card here, but I'm going to swap decks. So, and it could be something to do with the planning, with maybe directly linking Trump to the planning. So what other possibilities are there? The other possibility I looked at was, could it have something to do with Eastman's phone being seized? Apparently, in order to do that, to get that warrant signed, and they would have presented a warrant, oh, I hadn't thought about that. I was going to put in Holder as well. It could have something to do with that. That'll be interesting. I'll have to add that to the list. Hang on, I should write this down because I don't want to forget any of them. So I've done how big is it? And I'm leaving that moon card out. And I've done, it'll speed things up. Speed up justice, actually. And I asked, could it have something to do with the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys? And the mercenary card came up. Okay. So it's going to speed up justice. And then, of course, the money aspect as well. So next I'm going to ask, and I'm going to use, not the Vanessa cards. They're great little cards. I love them, but not quite suitable for this. So we use the Sun and Moon card here. So the next I'm going to ask, so let's have a look at, I might look at the phone call now on Air Force One. Is that a possibility? The other thing I said, could it be Mike Pence? Or could it be to do with Ginny Thomas? Or the holder footage. That's what I'll call it. The holder footage, documentary footage. Could somebody's life be in danger? Is that why they're doing it? I'll ask that. Oh, could it be? Oh, my goodness. There's so many questions. Pardons. The tours. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of these possibilities, and I'm only going to draw 3 cards for each, okay? But first, will the person, are they doing it like this for safety reasons? So I'll ask that question first. King of Cups. Wow, that's a big yes. Could somebody be in danger? Victory, Six of Wands. That's validation that yes, it could be somebody is in danger. So that's, and one more on that. Here's the Magician. Yeah, they're bringing everything together to. It's like it's like something's happened and it's bringing everything together, and everything's going to gel. How shocking is this? How shocked is America going to be after this? I know I haven't. I'm moving on to a different question before I've asked my other ones, but this is just so fascinating. I don't want the US to suffer because of some idiot. Even the people who, believe in him. How shocking is this going to be? How shocked is America going to be? I've got scorched earth going through my mind, but that could be because somebody mentioned scorched earth earlier today. The lid's coming off, possibly the need for medicine for some people, hyperventilating, shock, Page of Cups. Oh my goodness, a real emotional surprise, very much emotional. The King of Swords. I feel like they're going to feel like they've been, a lot of them are going to feel like they've been lied to. Like the King of Swords, the prosecutor, he's supposed to stand for decency, but in the reverse, he's a nasty, cold shoulders person. Hi, Karen Bissell. Oh, so it's going to be, a bit of a shock, I think, for some people. Not for majority of Americans. It might be, oh boy, that's a bit of a shock, but not really a surprise, if you know what I mean, or maybe a bit of a surprise, but not really a big shock, or a bit of a shock and not really a surprise. But for those who believe in it, it's going to be both. Anyway, so I'm going to draw 3 cards on each possibility. Okay. I've looked at Oath Keepers and Proud Boys. Is it to do with the tours? I heard something about the chief of staff, the tours. I asked if it was about the tours. I got the Devil, the Ace of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. I'll take that as a no, but that's, it's like that's still to come. People are going to pay for that. I don't think that's what's specifically going to be addressed here, but that is still to come, to be covered, and people are going to end up in jail over the tours. But I don't think, it might be, they might be mentioned. I don't think the news network should be putting out the possibility that it's somebody's. Is it a staffer from Mark Meadows? Is it one of Mark Meadows' staffers? Defeat, 5 of Swords, Queen of Swords, 5 of Cups. Could be turning his back on them. Might have information, loss and regret. So there's a possibility possibility. It certainly can't be written off that he's. But is he only one of them? Is he the main witness? I do think he might be there and saying things. Is he the main witness? Queen of Wands, possibly, or she, they. Yeah, I think that's a good possibility. Hi, Bo Smith. Hi, new grandma. So I'm going through the possibilities of who it could be. Yeah, it's certainly possible it could be a staffer from the chief of staff from Meadows' office. And they could be the main witness. But I didn't get any major arcana there. But I got the 5 of Swords, the 5 of Cups. They're both the conflict cards for the 5s. I got the Ace of Cups. And I got the Queen of Swords. And then I got the Queen of Wands could it be one of them? So, but no major arcana. So, but it could be somebody who feels that these actions need to be accounted for. Is it Mike Pence? Let's have a look. The King of Cups. The 4 of Swords. No, I feel like it's not him. For his own, and the Queen of Wands. I feel like it's taken him a long time to get back to a state of equilibrium. And he's been retiring in the background. But again, the Queen of Wands is here, which could mean he's thinking about following his conscience. It's a possibility, but I'd say no. But you can't write it off. But I feel like it's taken him a long time to get to a level. Like it took him almost a year to come out and talk about the election and stuff. So I don't know that. Is it about pardons? I'm not going to use that one. Is it about the pardons? Like I said, I'm only doing half an hour tonight, guys, but I will be back on 6 p.m. Eastern Time, US, which is 6 a.m. my time, unless the hearing draws out, and then I'll move it back a bit. Okay, so one guest. Yeah, I don't know that he's the major guest. There is a possibility it could be Pence, but I'm feeling he'd rather be in the background. So it could be video. Could it be video testimony from Pence or remote? Here's the Queen of Wands again. It could be remote testimony from Pence. So if his life is in danger, they might have him at a secret location or something. So that could be interesting. Is it something to do with the pardons that were requested? I think if it was to do with the pardons, he came out before he left. That's a different thing. They wouldn't look at those. But requested pardons. High Priestess. Shallow. Just shows how shallow these people are. Knight of Pentacles, mercenary. Maybe because the High Priestess is a major arcana, but defense, coming out in defense, mercenary, and showing these people at their shallow best. Possibly that could be one of the things that's coming out. I keep getting full circle, full connection. So I don't know. Those words going through my head. So let's have a look. What are they doing there? They're finding a house. Yep. Now, could it be about Ginny Thomas? Could it be Ginny Thomas? If it is her, it's definitely to do with the connections. Here she is, the Queen of Pentacles, the luxury-loving woman who doesn't care about anybody but herself. Temperance. She's about to get... I'm feeling like she's about to get her comeuppance, really, a balancing of the scales. So I don't know that she'd be a witness, but there's definitely the Five of Cups. So she's definitely got some loss in her future with regard to this whole 1-6 thing. I'm using a different card for each question because I don't want contamination from a deck, you know. So, okay. Hi, Celtics here. I'm only on for a little bit tonight because I'll be doing a post-hearing live early tomorrow morning, depending on when this hearing finishes. I've got it scheduled for 6 a.m. my time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern time, but it could be moved back depending on what happens with that hearing. So, but anyway, this came out. Here's the world. The whole world is watching because they weren't expecting anything for a couple more weeks, another hearing till July. And bam, out of the blue, this came. So the whole world is watching. This is big. I'm going to put that there and just shift this to the side. Bring out another deck. The beauty of having multiple decks. I want to keep the world there, like the whole world is watching. And of course, this is the big impact. The first question I asked was, how big of an impact is this? You just heard it's 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, whatever time it is, I'm going to be watching it. Is it about the phone call on Air Force One? Holder said he didn't hear anything. He couldn't hear anything about that. But is it going to be? Thank you, Bo. Here's that Knight of Wands again, a surge in the investigation, a balancing of the scales, quid pro quo. Now, and the mercenary. But, here's the thing, is all of these things are tied in together. These are minor arcana. So I'm thinking, no, possibly not. But it's stuff that's going to come out later. Hi, Ewart. So with regard to the phone call, there is going to be further investigation. It is going to be about a quid pro quo and mercenary stuff. Whether or not it's the focus of this committee hearing, no. So even though I'm like getting no, but just because I don't think this question like Ginny Thomas or the tours or the pardons is going to be the focus of the hearing. What the cards I've drawn have said that this is stuff, there's going to be more stuff coming out about it at a later day. Oh, look at this. They're not going to be able to get away with that shit, whatever that phone call was about. There'll be a record of it. There's a tape of it somewhere. My scar started itching like crazy just then. Okay. So now I'm going to have a look at the footage because Holder did hand all his footage over to the committee. All of it, everything. So is this including that remarkable piece of footage of Pence being totally unemotional when given handed a piece of paper with a request from Nancy Pelosi to invoke the 25th Amendment against Trump. Oh, that's interesting. I think he said, oh, that's it. He went, oh, that's interesting, or something like that. So let's have a look. Could this be about the footage, the documentary footage? I think they just had a weekend. I think they spent the weekend watching every little bit of it. Mercenary Knight of Pentacles. So much about the mercenary groups. Because he followed him on the campaign before the election and then after the election. So this covers both times. Dirty money working group. Anxiety for somebody. I'll tell you what, somebody is, there's people there and they're thinking, we should never had that. I could kill whoever arranged it. I think it was Jared and Ivanka or something. And they're like, I wish I'd never spoken to him. I wish I'd never spoken to him. I wish I'd never spoken to him. Is this it? Is this the big ticket item for this hearing? Oh, my goodness. I asked, is this the big ticket item for this hearing? The Sun. So, is it the only big ticket item? But I do think it's got quite a bit to do with that footage. Oh, we're going to hear, they doctored it. They doctored it. That's not my voice. They doctored it. They doctored it. That's that sort of shit that's going to come out. Now, the other question I wanted to ask is, so definitely this footage could definitely, it's probably going to play a role. Oh, sweetheart. You've cancelled all your appointments so you could watch the emergency hearing. Yeah, Edna May, go to your... I think she felt pressured into doing it. I'm just got her, but I think she let her religious belief overrule her judicial beliefs, which she shouldn't, but she did. I will have a brief look at the justices in a minute, but anyway, is this got anything to do with Eastman's phone being seized? Could be Alex Holder got some video and audio of Eastman. Let's have a look. Ooh, the justice card. The justice card. Now I'm holding my deck like this, so I can't see what card I'm pulling out. I'll double check that. Could this have something to do with Eastman's phone being seized? Oh, the death card. Transformation and end. What the hell is on Eastman's phone? I mean, they only just seized it today or yet last night. Have they been up all night looking at Eastman's phone? No, there's definitely been some assessing, but it definitely got something to do with Eastman's phone being seized. Conversations with somebody. wanting to walk in a higher achievement, trying to go for higher achievement. Did Eastman think he'd get named Attorney General? He did. He thought he'd be put in place as the Attorney General. Oh my God. Let's see, he honestly believed he'd be put in place as Attorney General. Oh my God. Oh, Mr. Carter. Now I didn't get a hit here, but the question just popped into my mind, so I'm going to follow it. Clark's house was raided. Then, like, what, 4 days later, Eastman's phone is seized. Did Clark have evidence that was the cause of Eastman's phone being seized? Let's have a look. Did Jeffrey Clark have evidence that led to Eastman's phone being seized? He's challenging it, saying it wasn't legal. I don't think he has a leg to stand on there. So let's have a look. What have we got? King of Cups. Yes, that's a big yes. I'll ask again. Did Jeffrey Clark have evidence? Did they find evidence in Jeffrey Clark that led to Eastman's phone being seized? Yes, the 9 of Wands. Embattlement. And one more. 10 of Swords. Long dark night of the soul. Okay, very interesting. Now, I'm just going to ask, I want to move on to the justices because a couple of you have asked me about them. But before I do that, I'm just going to ask one more question. Okay. Will there be more hearings? I think there's more to go through. I'm pretty sure there will be, but I thought I'd which is 7 of Swords. Yeah, no, they haven't finished. There's still more to divulge. So I said with this, there's still more to come out. Four of Swords, lots more to come out yet. And the Knight of Swords. Oh, boy, you thought it was going to be fun up to now. What comes out even after this one is it's going to be pretty chaotic after this. This is all, yeah. Swords everywhere. 4 sword cards. The 7, the 4. The 7 for trying to sneak away, for trying to get away with it. The 4 for running away, basically. The Knight of Chaos. Long dark night of the soul. Wow. It'd be interesting. I do think that it's mostly going to do with the footage. I think there could be something in that footage that might show a connection with the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. There could even be a remote testimony or remote video testimony from Mike Pence. I'm really keyed up. So I do think the footage is going to be the main thing, but I do think there's going to be a bit of shock and awe in there. Okay, You guys have asked me about impeachment for Kavanaugh and Thomas. They're certainly going to have to stand in defense of themselves and say why they shouldn't be impeached. So they're definitely going to be asked questions. There's definitely going to be they're definitely going to have to be asked questions, but they're not going to want to answer. Those two especially, for some reason. Amy Coney Barrett, I think hers was she let her faith rule her judicial sense. And that's not good. Will there be moves to impeach Clarence Thomas, especially as he has already indicated that the court could be going after such and such, such and such and such and such. But as far as I know, nobody's brought a case for those things. So why would he be saying that? So he's already showing prejudice. I don't know about Kavanaugh getting impeached, but could there be moves to impeach Clarence Thomas? There's support for it, as no surprise there. You don't need to be intuitive and read cards to know that. There's a lot of support for that move. Oh, that's a big yes. They're gathering things together to at least put a case forward. Loss, regret. I do think there might be moves. It might even be put on the table. Will he resign before he can get impeached? I think Justice Thomas might come to him and say, look, might be better if you do resign, because not even the Republicans are going to be able to save you with this. Justice Roberts, isn't it? Yeah, Justice Roberts. Yeah, again, this is the not getting away with things card, trying to get away with stuff and not succeeding. He's on shaky ground. He's been pushing the envelope. He said too much in yapping his mouth off about other areas he'd like to see challenged and other areas that could be challenged. That is he going to go? I think he really wanted to hang on till the midterms. Is he going to go? A step backwards, I'm feeling. Like, action's coming back to bite him on the butt. Will he go before the midterms? Quite possibly. It could take a deal. Because there's no doubt about it. I think Roberts is going, you should go, because if the Democrats win the House and the Senate, and I think Justice Roberts thinks they probably could, there's no doubt you will be impeached and thrown off the bench. Is this true? Yep. Consequences for the actions. This is the ships coming in and they're not carrying good things. Kavanaugh, I don't know what's going to happen with him yet. I think he's still a while away from going. Now, I do know that Mo Brooks has turned. if you employ worms to churn up the muck and then stick a pitchfork into them, they're going to piss off. It's as simple as that. Now, who was it? Was it Cash Peters who said, in a way, Trump kept his promise when he promised to clean the swamp? Because he drained it and he exposed all the dirty underbelly that people only suspected was there, but now they really know. Okay. I'll tell you what, the FBI, they locked it all up tight. There's no way that Eastman can not do it. Can fight that. Get knocked back every time. What are Ivanka and Jared doing in the Middle East? I've heard they were looking for a home. Escaping the chaos. They want to escape the chaos. Yeah, making deals for a new home. Yep. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining me. Now, I'm going to cut it short because I will be back after this hearing, okay? And it'll be really, really interesting. Yeah, to see. I might have to go back and have a look at this and watch it after the hearing to see how much I hit on, how much I hit and how much I missed. It'll be interesting. Yeah, it's wrong, isn't it? Joe Biden's at NATO and G7 at the moment. It's going to be really, really interesting. I got a picture just then of Joe Biden flying home quickly. Could there be something happening that he cuts his things short? Could there be an event that brings Joe Biden home earlier? Stand and defend. Possibly. Oh, my darlings. I got a tower. And it really made me draw my breath in. Stand and defend, and drawing a big. I hope that's wrong. I hope that is more to do with the hearings. But I ask, is there something that's going to happen that will bring him? Because I got a picture of him just saying, I've got to go, and almost running off the stage. And then the 6 of rods, which is a validation card. So I hope I'm wrong and that there's nothing major. Is Putin on his way out? Yeah, but it's not going to happen overnight. He's still going to be there for a little while yet, but he is definitely not got long to go in his position of power, okay? But it's just because he goes doesn't mean that everything's going to magically be fixed up with Ukraine and all that. I really, really wanted Ukraine to be finished. I said somewhere between 10 days and 10 weeks. It's well past 10 weeks now. I think maybe both. Well, Trump in detention for a while and then moved to a medical facility. Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups, which is medicinal, mental, Queen of Rods. I don't think they'll just throw Trump in a jail cell, but he'll certainly, yeah. I think possibly a mix of both. I don't know that he'll ever get to court, but oh yeah, it's not just people voting blue too. It's if you can, and you're feeling able to fulfill a role right down to the local level of your community, go out there and put your hands up for some of these roles that have influence that the Republicans seem to have taken. It's got to come from the grassroots up for real change to happen, and for the Republican Party to be basically have a chance of ever recovering from the rot that set in the minute that Newt Gingrich was given any power. He saw the weaknesses. I mean, I'm not saying it was perfect before him either. It wasn't, but he saw the weaknesses and he preyed on them, and that's when the rot really started to set in. So, yeah. Okay, I got a Tower. Could it be a natural disaster? Because I just got a picture of him, like, running away. Three of Rods. And a Wheel of Fortune, a change. Three of Rods, consequences. I hope not. I got Kamala Harris stepping up in a big way in the next 6 months or so for something, not sure what, but yeah. Anyway, my darlings, I'm going to go now. Love you all. I will talk to you tomorrow morning my time, this evening your time. Have a great day. Look after yourselves. Stay safe, stay strong, stay happy, stay loving, and stay laughing. Love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Could be Celtic Seer. Might, if I remember, I'll look at that tomorrow. Okay.